Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Hat Trick Podcast. I'm Keanu.
I'm Josh.
Usually Derek's here. Fortunately, he couldn't make it today, but still Hat Trick, still three opinions. Because let's be real, both of us probably have two personalities. I guess that's quad stat. I don't know. We're still working out the fucking details, okay? But this is not really much of a podcast, I guess you could say. Just more of like a fight prediction. Something real short, real simple.
We're only going to do the main card because, there's a couple fights on the prelims that I'm interested in, but not enough for us to talk about. So
Yeah, and let's be honest, you guys just are worried about the main card, okay? A lot of us are casual fans who don't know every single person on the roster, but main card, you pretty much know them, whether it's legendary performances, up-and-coming stars, anything like that. But we got both on the first fight, at least I feel like. Jim Miller, Charles Oliveira. Jim, absolute legend. His war with Joe Lozon, insane. Unfortunately, his TKO loss to Donald Cerrone, also pretty legendary. No, it was Nate. Which one head kicked him? That was Donald Cerrone.
I think it had to have been Donald Cerrone.
That was
wasn't
Cerrone.
Nate.
Yeah, that was Cerrone. Yeah.
I don't even know if Cerrone knows how to throw.
I'm sitting here doubting myself. Don't worry about me, okay? You'll get that a lot, okay? You'll see that every day of my life. But, simple on predictions. Both crazy submission artists. Both really rough and tough. Really hard for them to tap. However...
High-level black belts.
Yep. And however... every fight starts on the feet, and you can't train heart. I think Jim Miller has it. I think he still has enough in the tank for a title run.
Yeah.
But to beat the who's of the division, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna give anyone a hard out.
Yeah, I think he'll stay top 10 until he retires. Even though I think right now he's not, right?
I'm not positive.
I think right now he's only top 15. But I think with this win against Oliveira, he'll be top 10. I think he'll stay there.
Yeah, I saw an interview where, because he had a couple skits in a row, I guess he had lupus.
Oh.
And that's what was allowing him not to be able to train as hard as he wanted to. So,
Yeah.
Like when he fought Diego Sanchez, when he fought a couple other guys, like he was like dealing with lupus as well.
Yeah, which is just fucking insane, man. Like, you have to think about when you say you can't teach heart, you have fucking lupus, and you're getting in there, and you still had like a decent career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you have to think a lot of people, especially with stuff like that, they don't really know the full extent of how bad, their sickness is.
It might have been Lyme disease. Same thing, though. I mean, not the same disease, but...
But, just still really bad. So you got to think, by the time he found out that it was real bad, he was winning a couple fights.
Yeah.
So just to get there and to have that and to know that you still have, an okay career and to come back,
Yeah.
And I think he's got it in him to win.
Yeah, me too.
Pure heart. He'd have to get submitted by something just ridiculous, another one of those Korean zombie twisters or whatever that calf slicer was.
I'll definitely pick Jim Miller as well to win. Charles Oliveira is his first fight at 155, I think. He's going up for 145. I think that Jim's just too experienced. He's going to be too big, and his pressure is going to be too much for Oliveira. But I can see Oliveira winning because he's the younger fighter.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see, though.
It's either going to be Oliveira by decision or a crazy submission, or Jim Miller's taking him out. Any option. I'm very much on Jim Miller's ass about this. I'm just a fan of legends. I'm a fan of grit. We talked about those Jersey Cats, those New England guys in the last podcast. I'm all for the New England guys, except for the Patriots.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Patriots. I like Tom Brady. He's handsome. His wife.
Anyways.
Next fight.
Got Sergio Pettis moving up to bantamweight,
which I think is a great call.
Yeah. You know what I didn't know is he was 9-1 at bantamweight before the flyweight division got put into UFC.
Really?
Yeah, I always thought he was just a flyweight.
See, and what's crazy is I feel like I remember that. I feel like I remember that shit.
I didn't even know he was fighting that long.
No, I knew he had a pretty decent record.
But
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else, but I feel like I knew that.
Yeah. I don't know much about Rob Font. I know he's another New England guy. He trains with Joe Lozon. So he's...
Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Heavy hitter.
That's what I heard. Like, he finished his last 6 fights in the first round.
Yeah, he's a heavy hitter. I'm not really sure how he finished. I'm pretty sure they're all like TKOs.
I think so too.
Like that. But I think he has the potential to be a stout Max Holloway. Like, I think his ground game is decent, but I think if he ever gets a submission win, it's because he dropped somebody.
Yeah.
I think and I think that's his way to win. We've seen.
You do think you? So are you picking Rob?
No, I'm picking Pettis, but like I can see the power being too much because we've seen power be a problem with Sergio before.
Yeah.
I think the power will hurt, and not to talk trash on Sergio at all. I think Sergio's an amazing guy. I think he has little showtime in him. You know what I mean? I think he has the potential to be a champion one day. It's just that I think he's still not quite getting used to getting rocked and really having to overcome an ass whooping. Take a beating to give a beating. I don't think he really knows how to do that just yet, even though he has shown it before.
I can see that. I can see that he's a little bit of a front runner.
Yeah, I feel like he like I said, the potential is so crazy there. Just he's at the cusp. I think if he doesn't do what I want him to do this fight, it's going to be the next two. The next two, especially bantamweight, he's not cutting as much. He's becoming more of his own person. I think a few of his losses in the UFC was because he was trying to be his brother.
Trying to get out of the shadow.
Yeah, and now he's just like, fuck it. You can kind of see it in his face with a lot of interviews and stuff now. He's kind of like, no, I'm Sergio Pettis.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, which is crazy, he was ranked higher in his division than Anthony was.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you, again, with the potential, and it shows that people can come back from nothing. I'm sitting here giving him a hard time about coming back from a beating, but it's almost just as hard to see yourself going lower on the rankings. That's a real big confidence destroyer. It's just saying, your top 5, your
especially
top 10, all of a sudden you're top 15.
Yeah,
you're not ranked.
Those a couple of title eliminator fights, I think, like with Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
And Henry Cejudo just wrestle fucked him and beat him with decision. And then his last outing, he fought Joseph Bermudez. Benavidez.
Joseph Benavidez. Joseph, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I thought he was related to Dennis.
He's alpha, man.
I know.
Like, you should know all about that.
He's not alpha male anymore.
It doesn't mean you should forget his name. Remember, can't remember where you come from, cuz.
Dillashaw who?
Yeah.
Who?
Fuck you, Dillashaw. I know you're smaller than me. You can probably head kick my teeth and fix them, but fuck you. Okay.
But yeah, I'm picking Pettis too. Because, honestly, I think if he can avoid the strikes of Rob Font, because Rob Font doesn't really throw a lot of head kicks, doesn't really throw a lot of kicks in general, like leg kicks, body kicks. I think that he's more of a headhunter when it comes to his boxing. And I think Sergio is just a little bit more diverse.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think he's going to win, because Sergio knows how to use his range.
Yeah.
Sergio knows how to use the, I forget what they're called, pips? No. That's...
Teeps? Front kicks?
Wow. Yeah, he knows, yeah.
Yeah, teeps.
Yeah,
Teep.
I'm old.
Teep.
I'm old.
Teep.
I think he knows what to do.
Yeah.
I think he knows what to do to keep the distance and to really cancel out the only thing that we can talk about when it comes to Rob Font.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be one of those fights, especially when you're coming up from a different division. you got to feel out that competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate saying it because I know how hungry these fighters are and stuff, but I think when you're in a position like that, going down in weight, going up in weight, just doing something where the rankings are different and the competition's going to be completely different from what you're used to. The first couple fights, you're not going to fight to win. You're going to fight to not lose. You're going to make it a point game.
You got to get adjusted.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, all props to him if he does do that, because, you know, we're sitting here talking about that might be what he needs to do to win.
Yeah.
It's just keep it a point game and also see what, you know, Rob's gas tank is like. Take him into those later rounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take yourself in those later rounds even, you know, because, I mean, yeah, you fought at bantamweight before, but that's a long time of not having those 10 pounds on you.
Yeah. That's what he talked about, too, in the countdown. He can just feel a difference.
Yeah.
So,
you know, because everything offsets. You're either going to feel really strong but really slow, or you might feel super fast but super tired.
Yeah.
You know, just depletions and stuff like that. And I would know. I would know. Because I'm sitting here thinking I'm the king of the 155, and I made 156, and I thought I was gonna die. I saw sounds that I've never seen before.
You saw sounds is the first issue.
Yeah. That should tell you right then and there. Which, kind of a side note, like, what division do you think's getting added? There's a rumor. Dana says it's not 165, which makes me think it's 165.
Yeah, me too.
Because Dana is a very emotional speaker.
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, TMZ 2010. Hey man, when are the women gonna be in the UFC? Never. 2011. UFC 157. Main event, Ronda Rousey, Liz Carmouche, and you're just like.
Thanks, Dana.
Okay.
Thanks.
Speaking of, Liz is kind of attractive in a weird way. Don't do the face. Don't do the face. I'm actually not even gonna look at you for a little while because I know you're doing it.
God.
But like, I don't know, man. I think it's just because I know she can just fuck me up. I think it's because, like, even if I was a well-trained fighter and I went pro and stuff like that, I just feel like she just would just fucking kill me.
Jesus. You know I want to kill me? Paige.
Van Zandt?
Yeah.
Dude, her and Rachel Ostovich.
Dude,
January 19th?
Yep.
I'm coming. We're going to give you a fight companion, and it's going to have to stay like this because our pants are way off.
Michelle Watterson, too.
Yeah, every now and then I'll have to show my hands just to make sure everyone knows that, you know, we're still keeping it somewhat professional. But we're definitely going News 9 with it. You know, we're going to look very professional up top, and on the bottom there's nothing there. Nothing. I don't want anything disrupting what I'm going to have going on.
Jeez. Well, I guess that goes into the co-main event.
Yeah, the co-main, which is such a well-deserved co-main. You know what I mean? Two hungry guys.
Yeah, Dan Hooker, big step up in competition. Huge step up in competition going to Ensign coming off 2 straight losses, so you know he's going to be hungry.
Yeah.
And he lost.
Makes him more dangerous.
Yeah. The way he lost both fights, though, was the exact same. Like, Khabib took him down and mauled him.
Just a wrestling clinic.
And then Kevin did the same. Now, Dan Hooker, he's a striker.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be looking for the takedown against Barbosa. So it's going to be a striking affair.
Well, I don't know. I'm in the air about it. I agree and disagree because Dan's a great striker. Like you said, he's an amazing striker. But because they're both hungry, because they both want to win, and because Hooker's constantly growing, I feel like he's gonna shoot eventually. I think he's gonna try to do something, or what he needs to do. It's not even really matter if I think he should do it. It's what I feel like he needs to do, because I'm not fucking Dan Hooker. I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he needs to, you know, go ahead and show his true colors. Be a striker. You know, the first couple minutes, feel him out. Do something to wear down Barbosa's legs. You know, if you got to go leg kick for leg kick, just make sure that your kicks are harder. You know, because once that power's gone and you can use any bit of Kevin Lee's wrestling or Khabib's wrestling and Sampo skills, and take Barbosa down, you got yourself a win.
Yeah.
You know, and Dan's got to be very, very careful because he's rising up. He's doing what he's got to do. One loss to a 2-loss Barbosa, even if he's hungry, even if it's a prime Barbosa just ready for fucking war, it's still going to be a real bad stain on your record, and you're going to have to start all over.
You know, which he does not want to do. The good thing, I think, that Dan Hooker has going for him is that he's in the gym every single day with Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
One of the best strikers in the UFC right now.
That's true.
I think that's going to do him very well.
Yeah, as long as Israel keeps it, you know, Edson Barbosa flashy.
Yeah, that's what he was saying on the countdown. He said that he can't throw some of the things that he throws because Barbosa's not going to throw that.
Yeah, like I don't think Edson Barbosa is going to do a quadruple backflip, face punch, flying knee off the cage into a spinning dick slap. I don't know. Israel's out of this fucking world. Which, by the way, is completely unfair that no one has mentioned that if he beats Silva, he gets a title shot.
I know.
Like, apparently that's not the fucking agreement.
I know.
Like, if Silva can beat Israel, then Silva's going to get a title shot.
Yeah.
Does it look like I want to see Silva and Whitaker or Gastelum? Is this the face of someone who wants to see that? No. It's fucking not.
Yeah, I would be so pissed if I was Israel. I'm like, oh, so we're fighting, but if he beats me, I get a title shot.
Yeah. Which makes kind of sense, you know, like if you're Anderson Silva, you're 1 foot out the door, the broken foot is out the door.
Rumor is, too, that he said he wouldn't take the fight unless the title shot was on the line.
See, and I kind of get that, too, just because, I mean, like, when you're at that age, you got to have that type of motivation. You got to do something to keep in the game.
Yeah.
You know, but that also kind of tells you need to hang it up. If you need extra incentive like that to even get in there, just, you know, everyone's comparing Israel to Anderson.
Yep.
This isn't some WWE shit where everyone was saying John Cena was the next Rock and then John Cena had to beat The Rock for that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those situations where you got to script a torch pass. Just let it fucking be. You know? Everyone... but I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. I feel like if Israel's going to beat Anderson Silva, especially, you know, an Anderson who was offered a title shot with the win, take it. Take that fucking advantage, you know?
Israel was also offered to be the fill-in.
Oh, the alternate?
For Gastelum
and Whitaker?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't mind that. No,
he turned it down, though.
Well, that's big props to Israel.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, like, you know, stay busy and stuff like that, I really commemorate someone who's like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's where, of course, championship is on your mind. You want that belt, but it also shows, like, I'll do whatever I can just to prove my legacy.
Yeah.
You know, and which is what GSP's doing. GSP said, like, belt or no belt, doesn't really matter. He just wants to fight to fulfill his legacy. Yeah. And I think Israel kind of silently said that by saying, nah, give me a toughie.
I can see that.
41-year-old Silva, I don't know how the fuck that's a toughie, especially since Derek Brunson won. Let's make that fucking clear.
All right, so the prediction for the Barbosa Hooker fight, I got Barbosa winning, man. I think, like, Hooker jumping from top 15 to top 5, I think it's a bit much at this stage, but my heart says Hooker. I want Hooker to win.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go the same route, especially with you bringing that up. I think it's a little too big of a bite, but you know, I want Hooker to win too. I love underdog stories. Anytime the underdog is there, I want that one to win, just because that's how we grew up. That's how we were. Always got to be sympathetic towards the underdogs when that's what you've been your whole life. That, and I think, if anything, this thing can win any way. A unanimous decision, a split decision, a submission, a doctor stop. Anything can happen in this fight. But I feel like if it does, for whatever reason, get finished, it's probably going to be because of Barbosa's experience. Just overall UFC experience, overall having to go through some tough shit.
And he's explosive, man.
God, his leg, like, I could throw this pin and it would probably be slower than Edson Barbosa's kick.
Jesus, dude. The Terry Adam fight, like, every time I think of Barbosa, I just think about the Terry Adam knockout.
Yep, just
so nasty.
Just starching him. And how he almost had
Kevin.
Kevin Lee. Yeah, he almost gelled him. It was almost, he had the two highlights.
We've all seen the memes. Come on.
We've all been there. We've all seen it. Don't worry about it.
Brings us to the main event. Kevin Lee
and Iaquinta
2. So earlier we watched the first fight and broke it down a little bit. I honestly think this is a completely different fight from that fight. I think that, like we talked about, Kevin had 12 fights since that fight. Iaquinta had 6. Just because of setbacks, injuries. He had issues with UFC, fighting with Dana. Like, there was a lot going into it. Now, Kevin's been grinding consistently. I mean, that that decision that he got over Barbosa last time, he was so much more dominant than I've ever seen Iaquinta look at against anyone. I've never seen Iaquinta look that dominant over a high-level opponent like Kevin looked.
Yeah.
Not saying he wouldn't. I mean, Iaquinta's fight against Khabib, that was a great fight. He even stuffed all the takedowns, I think, in 4th and 5th.
Yeah. And
fell in love with that jab. Khabib did, I mean. And that was on, 2 days' notice.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where it's a rare instance where you grow confidence off of a loss. You fought the fucking best in the world.
Yep.
You
and
barely. Yeah, you survived, and I mean, yeah, it was a mauling. I think there was 2 10-8s or 1 10-8.
I think there was in the first.
I think the
first couple rounds.
Yeah, I think there was 2 10-8s, but to survive that and to come back, yeah, of course this would never happen, but back in the day when main events were 3 rounds, and we were asking, what if it was a 4th and a 5th round? I honestly think, the same thing. Of course, it's all just fucking speculation, but what if Iaquinta and Khabib had a 6 and 7? You know what I mean? Or even just a 6. Iaquinta showed that he actually had, if not more cardio, more heart. Because it takes a lot of energy to stuff those fucking takedowns. It takes a lot of energy to be defensive, and when you constantly do it the last 2 rounds of the fight, and that's just going to show you that you got a bit more than the other guy.
Yeah.
And Khabib's punches were coming a little slower.
They were
a little
He was slowing down.
A little wingy.
Ray Longo, Iaquinta's other coach, even said that Al faced the best Khabib that night.
Mm-hmm.
And Khabib fought the worst Al that night. Because he was training for a striker.
Yeah.
If you remember, he was supposed to fight Paul Felder, I think.
I think so, yeah, Felder.
Yeah, so, you went from going against a kickboxer and Felder to going against arguably the best wrestler in the history of the UFC.
In the NFL. the Kareem Hunt of the UFC. None of them did that.
Let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope.
Let's hope.
I swear to God, they're on TMZ. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. No, but
I can see Kevin kicking some bitches.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna lie about it, but not aggressively. You know what I mean? I can see one of those little kiddish ones.
No, I can see you kicking someone's door.
Pow!
Kicking someone's face
How
in.
dare you leave me, bitch? God. No, but prediction. God, I don't know. Like I said, I might have even said it this podcast. I'm very, very biased and root for anybody who's in New York, who's from New York. My biggest fight influence is my dad, and my dad, born and raised Brooklyn Brawler. So I want to say Iaquinta might have this full fight camp again. So what if it's a fucking loss? Great survival instinct, good performance just in general against Khabib. and we all saw his potential with the McGregor fight. I think Al will take this, but I think it'll be another decision.
You do?
I don't think anyone's getting finished Saturday as far as the main event.
Man. See, I'm going to go the opposite for the first time. I got Kevin Lee. I think his wrestling and his striking have improved greatly from the first fight. His confidence, I think he's going to be the more confident fighter going in there, for sure. And I think that if Iaquinta can't stop his takedowns, then it's going to be a long night.
Rough night.
And it's not 3 rounds this time.
It's going to be 5.
It's going to be 5,
just
so...
just like we said.
Kevin's got to... He's got to use his wrestling, though. Like, even as much as his striking have evolved, I don't think it's to the level where Al's is still.
I just hope Kevin's kept up with his submission education because, I mean, Sarah Longo, those are some, Sarah's a good ground game guy.
Yep.
Very, 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 very good.
Yeah.
I feel like that, and I mean, Weidman's still around. I think...
Aljamain Sterling's one of his training partners too.
So I think a lot of stuff is playing in Al's ballpark. It's just a matter of if he can capitalize on that. But yeah, I'm sticking to mine. I always love giving the doubts plus the confidence. So I might be talking shit about Al Iaquinta now, but I still fully feel like he's gonna win it all.
Yep, and I'll stick to mine too, Kevin Lee. I just think he's going to be too much for Al right now. And I love Iaquinta too, but I just think that Kevin's got it.
Yeah, but that's all we got for tonight. We'll see you probably Fight Companion, the main event.
Yeah, we'll probably do that.
Yeah, we'll probably Fight Companion.
Hopefully Derek is back.
Yeah, hopefully Derek comes back. He's always a breath of fresh air. Yeah, and then after that, just stay tuning in. We'll talk about everything. UFC is always very, very crazy at the end of the year, so definitely we're gonna be heavy on that for a while. But we're the hat trick for a reason. Okay, we score it up. We'll have it all planned out for you a little bit, and we'll talk about anything and everything. And once these are posted, feel free to comment something that you might want us to talk about, something that you want us to research and you don't have the time for. It's what we're here.
Yeah, or any suggestions about how to make it better, or just anything.
Yeah, but no ugly jokes. We're very self-conscious. Okay, we're going through some stuff. we're going through some things. Okay. But anyway, till next time.